Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another Legacy stream. We're going to run back Affinity. I played this on stream to a 4-1 finish the other day with a slightly suboptimal build that perhaps had too many Gaia's Cradles, but I really liked the idea of playing with Mecha Godzilla, aka Crystalline Giant, and throwing cranial plating on it, and it was a lot of fun. It was in fact so much fun that I went and played an off-stream league. And I really thought that I recorded that league in my head. Like, I thought I had played 3, and then I looked at my YouTube channel today, and someone, I think their name was George with a J, unless it's pronounced differently because it was from a different language. Anyway, George said, "Hey, I would love to see more of this with your adjusted build." And that's when I realized, oh, I didn't actually upload another video of this. So George, this one goes out to you. So what have I changed since the last time around? 4 was too many Gaia's Cradle, so I trimmed down on that, and I added a bunch of artifact lands as well as 1 Urborg to help with casting cranial plating. Over the last couple of leagues, I realized that Arcbound Ravager had basically done nothing the entire time. Like, it had eaten some removal spells here and there, but that was about it. So today I want to try 2 Vault Scourges and 2 Lightning Greaves in the slots where the Ravagers were. Ravager's cool with this stuff and all, but I kind of wanted another piece of equipment to go with this because it's just so good at carrying equipment. It gets evasive, it gets big, it gets scary, it stacks up all sorts of abilities, so I figured some Lightning Greaves to protect it was probably a good idea. And then I'm grabbing some Vault Scourges just as something else that's good with cranial plating. 3D. Mox Opal was in the original version of this deck list, but we scrapped it. If you want to play Mox Opal, you probably want to try something that looks more like this. That is really, really heavy on the Affinity sub-theme. Like with actual Affinity cards. Because in those shells, it's really closer to a 2-mana Mana Rock. Whereas here, it doesn't super contribute to a lot of things that we're doing, and we don't quite have enough artifacts to really make it the turn 1 Mana Rock that you might want it to be. Well, glad to have someone else who is working on Affinity in the chat. It's a lot of fun. This was honestly the best innovation that I had for the deck list. So right when I was starting up the stream, someone, like, half as a joke, said, "Hey, what about Crystalline Giant? We love Crystalline Giant." And then I did it, and turns out it was actually nuts. It might have been Reaplecheap who suggested that. It was one of the stream regulars, and it just turns out that, like, oh, it was fine and handy. You never joke about that. Kinda. Thank you very much for your support, friend. Nice to see you here again. Yeah, and it turns out that, like, Crystalline Giant just carried games left and right. I'm just going to hop into things here. We did an extended deck tech for this before. We're just going to try some new things tonight to see what does and doesn't work. Depending on how quickly we pound through this league, we might try a league with Frog Time 3 Tokyo Drift. Someone sent me this deck list after I streamed with the other Affinity list, and this list looks super cool. Like, harkens back to a very, very different era of Magic. The only downside is this doesn't have Crystalline Giant. We might have to sneak that in there somehow. In the league that I played off stream, Crystalline Giant brought me back from the brink. I was at, like, literally 1 life, and then I rolled Lifesteal on it. I already had the +1 counter on it, and I was just, like, gaining 4 a turn, and I put cranial plating on it, and then I just, like, completely locked my opponent out of the game. It was awesome. Oh, dude, this hand is fucking sick. I am in. I don't know if I'm supposed to play Steel Overseer or Thorn of Amethyst on turn 1. I think it's Steel Overseer. Let's go! This hand just loses a lot of its aggressive elements if I don't play the Overseer first. A cranial plating off the top represents so much damage, just like by the way, throwing that out there. Walking Ballista, Stonecoil Serpent are great rips as well. Well, Stonecoil Serpent like has reach innately and blocks Delver while also having protection from Oko. It's pretty good there. You can also play the Serpent around Daze a little bit easier. We're looking at some sort of Maverick deck. It's interesting that the Thorn of Amethyst would have been really good against that Maverick hand when normally they just go like Bird Pass or something like that. Hello, friend, and welcome. We welcome your kind here. Oh, it's hexproof. Hell yeah. I I don't know. Maybe they figured the damage was already done from Cradle. I also don't know what degree of crazy bullets they have that they can get off of Knight. So, for example, if they have a Tabernacle in there randomly, then it's totally fine to leave me with the Cradle. This blocks a Merit Lodge for a turn. Kind of a big deal. So this is really a 5/5 right now. So it can trade with Knight in combat. We also just might like pull flying or something, trample. So is there any world where I want to try to trade Knight for Mechagodzilla, or do I just want to hold it back? Oh yeah, he can make the 20/20. Yeah, maybe I'll wait it out. And probably present lethal pretty easily in one turn cycle next turn. Yeah, I don't think I want to throw away an ornithopter. That is interesting. First strike. I have a 6/6 first striker. Doesn't quite deal with that. Real close. Maze of Ith is a nuisance here. I think I'm going to attack with one Ornithopter. Any reason to not bump the attack up? No, my opponent was taking a while and I forgot to do it. I just missed a point of damage. Wow, another Dark Depths? Which means there's also probably multiple Thespian stages in there as well. That's a nuisance. A lightning greaves. That's the thing. Guess I put it on my Ornithopter. Plays around Swords to Plowshares type stuff a little bit better. Reach. Can't really attack, unfortunately. Not good against Merit Lodges. I really needed some form of evasion here. So the existence of that tells me they're like very much not a Maverick deck. They're certainly a like Dark Depths Knight of the Reliquary based deck. And my initial read was wrong. That really the best thing you have to do? I'm not mad about it, I'm just surprised. Cranial plating plus rolling evasion is lethal still. And we beat Maze of Ith doing it. Oh wait, there's a Thorn in play. Plus I'm getting wastelanded, that's not lethal anymore. Oh shit, shit, shit. I forgot to pump. I am unfortunately dead anyway, I don't have a flyer. That was not lifelink. Giant has reach, not dead yet. I guess that's technically true. Eh. I don't think these two Steel Overseers steal this game. Oh man, they maybe did if I activated though. But I think my opponent is still going to have two Knight of the Reliquaries back. I now have no lethal lines, right? I have to chump block with one Overseer, otherwise my opponent wastelands themselves and I die. So the only way I can win is my opponent not wastelanding themselves. Take 18. It's like a real obvious line that kills me, but 1/7/7 Steel Overseer does not deal 11 damage next turn. Alright, wasteland me for lethal, or wasteland yourself for lethal. Either works. I think I like Dismembering Knights. I think I like Big Fat Idiots. Walking Ballista did not seem like it would be good in that game. Chalice of the Void and Thorn are both decisively eh. Chalice on 1 can stop some crop rotation stuff. Thorn technically does some stuff. I don't know, maybe I need the disruption, otherwise I die. Like I can board Revoker over some Mem Knights or something. Vault Scourge seems good. Chalice in 1 stops crop rotation, and I don't know what else is in there, but crop rotation is a big one. I don't know. Maybe I go down on that. Bloodstone Column's kind of awkward versus Knight, but it's still something that's disruptive. I have so little information about their deck. Like, I saw Knight, crop rotation, Once Upon a Time as the only spells. Let's try something like this. I think I'm trying to kill my opponent before a Life from the Loam becomes relevant. Sometimes it's about sending a message, chat, and I don't want you to forget that. Sometimes it's about showing your opponents what you can do. I'll be damned if I'm not attacking with an Ornithopter on turn 1. Notably, this is probably an incorrect play because it means that I can't equip a Cranial Plating to this Ornithopter, but I'm getting Karn tokens every turn for the rest of the game, so it doesn't actually matter. Allosaurus Shepherd? Well, my chalices look embarrassing, I guess. Lodestone into Karn. Into Karn? I can attack for 5 this turn, or I can attack for 3 this turn. I Karn minus, and then Karn minus again next turn. I can Karn minus yet another time. The Karn based line is way better if I get wastelanded. We're gonna make a lot of constructs very quickly. Yeah, I mean, Lightning Greaves looks pretty good here, right? Second Greaves next turn would be pretty cool. Wow, Flagstones. That's pretty sexy. Don't hate that draw. Don't hate that draw at all. Damn, that's the tech right there. Dal's on one now, see if they do anything cool. They did not do anything cool. Do I play a Lodestone Golem or Karn this turn? I think it's Lodestone Golem. Have that sucker crash in for 5. Keep this Karn around that maybe they attack, and then, like, surprise, there's another one. This is also a technically disruptive line. This is a 6/6 now, so we'll move that there. Their mana's gotta be pretty tight, even with the Flagstone acceleration. Like, they're going to have to make a Merit Lodge next turn and also not die. Assuming they block, they're taking 6 and going to 11. So 2 constructs connecting is lethal. And I essentially have 4 of them that are going to attack next turn. Yeah. Big, dumb, heavy-hitting cards quick seems good. Oh, they're just done with me. Okay. So, on the draw, do I want to play Leyline? Now I know my opponent also has Flagstones and everyone's favorite crop rotation stapled to an elf. My chalices look way worse if they also have Allosaurus Shepherd. Maybe I want them on the draw, whereas I didn't on the play. Do I board out Chalice? And we're on the keep a very aggressive hand, or keep a hand with Dismember or Leyline. A little weird to board out a lot of my Disruption versus a combo deck, but it feels about right. Like, I'd really like to use my turn 1 to build a threat, not play a lock piece when I'm on the draw. This is a very difficult to evaluate 6. It is a soul land away from being basically exactly what I want, but this hand is exceptionally slow. I think I have to keep this and bin this lodestone totem golem. Bleh, wrong game. Ancient Tomb, just like unquestionably the best rip. With City of Traders being fine, I would absolutely just play Steel Overseer into Crystal and Giant and try to win the game that way. Yeah, Lodestone Totem in Monster Train. Fuck me, Collector? Oof! Oh no. God, this vault is now dead. This hand is now dead. Please. Fuck. Maybe they won't attack into the factory. Maybe they'll think I'm holding mana back and they're ignoring this blue text here. Maybe. Fuck. Alright. Bryant hasn't messaged me yet, but usually they're technically scheduled to go live on Friday. Sometimes they come out a little bit early. Alright. I have a 1/1. Which is arguably not even worth casting because of the 2 damage it costs me. If I were them, I'd really be thinking about just finding a wasteland and taking my Ancient Tomb here. Fair. It's so good. This Flagstone's tech is normally great. My ley line makes it super cool that they're not getting absolute maximum value. All right, I'm gonna pack this one in. Like we're not beating that collector roof when I don't have lands and they get to do their thing. I am really not meant to beat Merit Lodge decks though. Like the colorless deck doesn't really get to answer those things. We are also pretty soft to collector oof. We just have 3 dismembers to answer it. I think that's fine because like this can do a lot of work at like overpowering a random collector oof, assuming that I've gotten to play a game. But when it's just like turn 2 natural oof, just no. Does this hand do anything? I'm not sure that this hand does anything. Like I play a turn one Lightning Greaves or turn two Overseer, but then I don't do something super relevant the next turn. I think I want to just try to find something that's a little more consistent looking. Yeah, this is good. I'm pitching City of Traders here. I think they just played around a Stifle. I guess I play Lightning Greaves this turn, attack for one with Memnite, and then next turn I can give Steel Overseer haste, play Vault Scourge, activate Steel Overseer, give Vault Scourge haste, crash in. My order was technically off here. I should have played the Memnite after the Lightning Greaves. I gave my opponent a window where they could actually kill the Memnite with, I don't know, some bullshit green removal spell that costs one that shouldn't be seeing play. I will trade for an Icefang Coatl. So while normally I like to just jam the Crystalline Giant as soon as possible because accumulating counters is important, I thought it was better to play both Steel Overseer and Vault Scourge this turn. Nah, I'm not really playing any serious tournaments right now. There's not any Legacy deck that I'm actually excited to play at a competitive level. Like, this is fun, but I wouldn't take this to a serious tournament with money on the line. Got a weird Twiddle Storm donation deck for Saturday. I'm not convinced it's actually going to win any games, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, Rug Delver is very easily the best deck in Legacy, and it's not close. Reaple Cheap, I think a lot of people have gotten bored and are kind of just playing around. Um, Allurin basically sees zero play right now. It is brave to remove the Steel Overseer over that, but I don't know what the rest of their hand looks like. Maybe they have more removal spells. Man, I hope that was them just mistapping and they don't actually have another Swords to Plowshares. Because that would be very good against what I currently have. Hold on, shouldn't I still have Menace? I have a Menace counter. How does this read? Yeah, I should still have Menace. This is a counter that grants that ability. This card isn't functioning properly. That's annoying. It is a free league. But that's like super annoying, though. Like that Menace is hyper relevant versus Ice Fang Koala. Oh, neat. We just won. Was not expecting to just win there. We'll take Karns as another threat. We'll take Revokers, two shut off Planeswalkers. I will think about Thorn Jitte. I don't really think Chalice is good here. Like, as this bug deck that has, like, well, as this four color deck that has a whole bunch of stuff, Chalice stops Swords to Plowshares specifically, but it's not going to be a permanent answer, and my opponent has enough varied stuff at different mana costs that I don't know that that's the route that I want to go. I think I just want to keep hitting my opponent in the face with cards until they die. Thorn might be okay, though. I might play more Thorns. I'll definitely play more Thorns when I'm on the play. I think I like this on the draw, and then on the play I consider these three cards. No, I need another land here. Yes. God, this Ancient Tomb is going to do so much disgusting work. I have to decide what I'm doing on turn one, though. Like, Thorn versus Plating are entirely different games. I'm going to assume that I can find an opportunity to play an equipped Cranial Plating in the same turn later, and I'm just going to play the Thorn. Like, Thorn into Mechagodzilla into hopefully Lodestone Golem is a pretty gross curve. I think I want to keep this land in play, so I don't think I want to play it this turn to just jam Lodestone Golem down my opponent's throat. And I'm playing this pre-combat so that it can get a counter. First Strike is great. It no longer dies to Ice Fang Coatl. Alright. Play an equipped Cranial Plating or just play Lodestone Golem? I think just play Lodestone Golem. I still have play equipped Cranial Plating next turn. Tremble. I mean, Abrupt Decaying the Thorn. Ooh, Abrupt Decay into Force of Will. That's pretty good. Cranial Plating equip. I think I'll just attach at Sorcery Speed. Boo! Opponent had a pretty insane sequence of cards there to beat my start. Ice Fang Coatl to trade with the first creature, Abrupt Decay to trade with Sword, Force to trade with Lodestone, Sword to trade with Crystalline Giant. I'm probably going to be dead to an Oko Caliber card this turn. Yeah, that makes the whole I'm going to aggro you out plan significantly harder. I'm dead now. Now they just like flashback Uro, and I just like can't beat that from an empty board. Because that's going to be better than like my top deck Planeswalker. Yeah, my opponent has Sylvan Library on an empty board and Uro in graveyard. And like Uro Caracas at that. No, another Ballista is not good enough to beat 6 damage a turn plus life gain. On the play, I'm going to play 2 more Thorns. Over Ornithopters. Ornithopters don't seem good here. They contribute to my artifact count for cranial plating, but it's very poor to play a 0 power thing against a control deck. One Chalice? One Chalice is sort of awkward. But I think I'm going to do it. This is awkward. I have to play this hand slow if I want to keep this. It's turn 1 Factory Pass into turn 2 Crystalline Giant. The Lightning Greaves is really good, but my mana is kind of awkward this hand. I don't know if this is keepable. Ah! Mulligan to 4. Keep. Seven obviously is better than this, but so it goes. Don't even get a chance at free rolling this one. Let's revoke Astrolabe and then immediately get punished by Revoker. Or not Revoker. Oko. I'm playing as if they have nothing, because if they have anything, I'm dead. So I'm not going to play around Icefang Coatl. Like, I'm so incredibly far behind right now. I want my opponent to just play something so I can concede and move to the next game. But I'm not really dead yet. Yeah. We're going to shut that off again. Something like an Oko is scarier, but this cuts them off of black unless they have another land. Are we getting a hard cast Force of Will on a Vault Scourge? If the answer is yes, I may be in better shape than I thought. Okay, maybe we're not dead. Alright. My hand is so much worse than it looks on the surface, too, because of how my mana is going to work. I'm going to, like, draw a land and play Crystal and Giant, and then that's going to lock my other two cards out of being usable in the short term. But I basically just need to jam. Like, the only way I win this is by getting a little bit lucky, like grabbing a hexproof counter or something. Cool. I mean, Menace is cool. Opponent's dead in 2 turns in theory. So many outs for my opponent, like Swords of Plowshares, Abrupt Decay, Oko, Hexproof counter. This false hope. This false hope. Oh my god. I won? Okay. I don't know that I earned that one. I just wanted to concede. But I'll take winning over it. Yeah, opponent just drew lands and astrolabes. Hand's beautiful. Uh, how quickly can I aggro? Maybe not that quickly. Turn 2 Lodestone Golem's pretty good. There's also worlds where I'm supposed to play Vault Scourge on turn 1. So that I can go Vault Scourge into Overseer off Tomb into Plating Equip attack with Vault Scourge next turn. I think that's actually a better play than playing out the Steel Overseer. Oh, actually, maybe playing the Cranial Plating was better even. I don't know, playing the Vault Scourge gives me the greatest degree of flexibility with my mana the following turn because it nets an extra mana off of Cradle. Oh wow, main deck Firestorm. I essentially just don't want my opponent to hit Narcomoebas. My opponent discarded Narcomoeba there, notably. Don't want my opponent to have flying blockers. My opponent doesn't have flying blockers. I might be able to Vault Scourge aggro them out. Hmm. They also have multiple Cabal therapies, so they can hit no matter what. That's unfortunate. My opponent says, I have no idea. I don't think I'm quite dead enough where I should just concede. Maybe I'm dead enough that I should concede. I've named Abandon Reason. That's fair. Oh, neat. They sacrifice the ox so they can escape it again. This deck's explosive. Ugh. There's also a Hogak in the graveyard now. So, yeah. That's the thing. Really glad that I stuck around to see the Hogak. Yeah, so they sack the Hogak. They can replay it, mostly without exiling cards. They can also do the Cabal Therapy Ox thing one more time. I hope they do so I can see more of their cards. I haven't seen a Dredge build quite like this one. Oh wow, so they have 4 cards left in deck. Alright, so now that I know that they're not gonna like accidentally deck themselves or show me more things, probably time to just go. Alright, so it looks like the Ox and the Hogak are probably one ofs, and also one of Firestorm. Alright, we'll go ahead and call it there. We got just like absolutely nutted there. But I think we're pretty good against this deck because we have 6 cards that could kill all Bridge from Belows for free, plus ley lines. I think I'll play Leyline, Revoker, Thorn. I think I'll do all of that. I don't think I want Lightning Greaves. I can reduce the number of cranial platings that I'm playing. And then cut some of this stuff. Ornithopter flies versus Memnite doing 1 damage. I'm going to trim cranial plating. Maybe Overseer is worse than plating. Like, plating just goes on this, or Vault Scourge, and helps a lot. Yeah, let's maybe do this, and junk Ornithopters? I don't know, Ornithopter's better at getting through board stalls. Let's junk Memnites. That was more powerful than a traditional dredge opener by a lot. Alright, is Thorn plus a way to kill bridges good enough on the play? I think so. I think I will keep this. This sort of hand is good if my opponent mulligans to hate for Leyline specifically. If I can win this game and then get game 3 off a Leyline, that'd be ideal. Okay. There's also a world where Stonecoil Serpent isn't Bridge from Below hate, and it just ends up being a 5/5 next turn. Alright, we found the +1/+1 counter. Provoker starting to look pretty good. Am I just playing a 5/5? I might just be playing a 5/5. Death Touch. Alright. Was not the plan, but it's what's happening. Opponent is theoretically on a turn two turn clock. Oh god, the Ox is really good here. Ooh, so that is exactly what happened. They kept a hand with 2 Wisp-Mares. They are all in on a Stinkweed Imp. Well, I guess it's a Stinkweed Imp and an Ox. Like, they get 2 shots. Oh no, they get 1 shot, right? Oh god. That was so good. That was so disgustingly good. Walking Ballista is a smart name. It's something that can get rid of bridges. I mean, I'm very glad I didn't mulligan to Leyline because they kept the Wismere. Oh god, triple troll. Alright. GG. Hopefully that's it. I don't see another Cabal therapy or anything. Holy hell. Walking Ballista for X equals 3. Shoot Narcomoeba, hold priority. Shoot Narcomoeba, hold priority. Shoot Narcomoeba. Kill 3 Narcomoebas. Eliminate 3 Bridge from Belows. Yeah. First strike. If this has first strike and death touch, that's pretty good. This can't swing in versus that, or I trade. Don't think I want to trade. Don't think I want that back in the graveyard. Hogak's a little rough. My opponent also hit the last bridge. I need to get, like, flying on Crystalline Giant or something. Lifelink. That's good. Do I attack with Stonecoil Serpent? No. There is still the Hogak to think about. Alright, I think I'm on defense now. There's a world where I play the Vault of Whispers, so that if I draw another Vault of Whispers next turn, I can play a Leyline. But I think that's largely not a good idea. Maybe I should have attacked with a Mishra's Factory. Opponent's attacks are really weird because of a death-touching first strike lifelink card. Send them is the answer. Um, let's assume this Mishra's Factory is getting in there this turn. Alright. I probably need to stop the Hogak, even though that's something that they can recast again. Stopping that 8 damage seems really important. I can trade Mishra's Factory for this Ox. That seems good. And I can block a token here. I will take 8 damage. Ooh, sorry. There's more of those than I thought. 3, 6. So I'll take 11 damage going to 1, and I gain 5. So I'm at 5. My opponent will have a couple of zombies. My opponent will have 2 zombies remaining. They can recast a Hogak later. Plus get an Icarid. I think this is okay. Oh shoot. This is trading with that. That's going to result in one more zombie. Than what I had accounted for. That means I can cast the Hogak again. That's okay. I think I'm fine. That's a very good draw. All the counters. Death Touch, First Strike, Lifelink, and just regular damage. Oh wait, hold on. There's a Cranial Plating in play. How does... Or sorry, there's a Thorn of Amethyst in play. How does that change math? Like, can I equip this? It costs me 2 life to equip this, but it gains me 4 life back. So I net life by doing that. I'll block Hogak and an Icarid next turn. Takes 6. Yeah, I'm still alive. Vigilance is hilarious here. Do need to do that, right? Yeah, three to play. I think I'm gonna put Vault of Whispers in play. That's another artifact. Oh god, I hit the Vigilance. Hell yeah. They attack, I block, gain 9 life. GG's. Yeah, so JD, at the beginning of combat on the turn, I get a kind of counter at random that it doesn't have yet. From among Flying, First Strike, Death Touch, Hexproof, Lifelink, Menace, Reach, Trample, Vigilance, and +1/+1. No, no. Oh god, that card would be so good if you could choose. Like, you just get hexproof the first time every time. Like, it would just be colorless True Name Nemesis. Um, this hand is not good enough. I will be mulliganing this one. Like, it has a turn 1 Thorn, but not something that is going to just, like, win the game if it resolves afterwards. I am really looking for a Leyline hand on the draw. Opponent's on 5. We'll see if they have a Wispmare. Oh no, opponent is on 4. Oof. Leyline into Thorn into Steel Overseer is a pretty good start. Alright, what are you naming? Alice, maybe? I guess I did see Thorns earlier. They did name Thorn. Unfortunate, but fine. That's a Thorn with a different name for next turn. So that's really good. Ooh, the Faithless Looting into Leyline. I like those. Opponent just discarded 2 lands, so that probably looks pretty brutal. Play both. Attacker 6, put opponent to 12. No, attacker 7. Play both, have some diversity. Beat Serenity? Serenity happens next turn. Is there any weird thing I need to play around? Like Serenity doesn't kill my stuff. They don't have mana for something that's like a Shatterstorm. Maybe I'll... Nah, it should be fine. I can't even Firestorm. I don't have the second mana. Golem beats me. He does that. GG's. All right. So we're now up 2-1. I still don't believe that we beat DK in round 2. I felt so dead. Like that game 3 win on a Molda 5 was very surprising. I definitely don't miss the Arcbound Ravagers that I took out of the deck. Vault Scourge and Lightning Greaves have definitely been better. Like, Lightning Greaves on this sucker is just so hot. I kind of want to be able to play this on turn 1. Part of me wonders if I should retool a little bit to enable Mox Opal stuff so that I can play this on turn 1 more frequently. Like, kind of try to come up with a hybrid build somewhere between this and the other one. Like, take Ravagers out of this for more Crystalline Giants. Active players, I believe, means number of players that are in the league, period, not that are currently online. Not 100% sure, but pretty sure. Uh, Not worth going to 5? Probably not worth going to 5. Just turn 2 Chalice, turn 3 Mecha Godzilla, make appropriate animal noises, and probably pitch Vault of Whispers. Maybe it's pitch Stonecoil Serpent, though, because I want to have 3 mana, or maybe more if I'm playing against a Wasteland deck. But let's go ahead and do that. Alright, we're playing against a control deck of some kind. In which case, I'm happy to have bottomed the land. Ah, Smunker, thank you very much for throwing your support this way this month. Very much appreciated. I hope you are enjoying the robot-based content. I certainly am. I am tired, though. It has been a long week. The girlfriend is currently sick, and we don't know what she has. We're operating under the assumption that it could be bad, so I've been like socially distancing from her within the apartment as much as possible. So, slept on the couch the last couple of nights and spent a lot of time hiding in the office. Do I like any of the new Zendikar cards for D&T? Yeah, the apparition is very good. Or I'm Eternal Glory. Did my Eternal Glory episode already get pushed? Eternal Durdles is Nate Golia and Phil Blackman. Oh, she's not particularly sick. We're just, operating as if it is COVID for the next couple of days until we actually figure out what it is. All right. Do I just whack with cranial plating here, or do I play the Mecha Godzilla? Just whacking with the cranial plating here puts the most pressure on their life total. Worth 3 more damage this turn, but Mecha Godzilla is scarier, like potentially incredibly scary next turn if I get like hexproof or evasion on it. You know what you're here for. All right, I will shut up and just play Mecha Godzilla then. Technically, I should have played the other Mishra's Factory this turn, but whatever. I've acquired Lifelink. I came for jank, not for tank. That's pretty good. I respect that. I came for jank, not for tank. Yeah, yeah, I dig it. Shit. uh, cranial plating? I guess we put this in and see what happens. I can maybe just power through a Grizzlebrand here. So my cranial plating is base level 5 damage, but I can turn it into 8 damage by activating 3 factories. Oh, Shared Summons kills me. That gets Grizzlebrand plus Emrakul. That's unfortunate. Womp womp. We're not. These sorts of decks don't tend to be very good against Show and Tell. Like, I can play some Revokers and Thorns, but, like, a lot of my cards are not particularly good for these sorts of matchups. I can also consider just Karn as a way to make large constructs. So, if this is the Show and Tell version that I'm thinking it is, this also has like Ice Fang Coatls and such, so that's something that I should be aware of. I'm thinking we're probably doing this for this to start with, and then when I'm on the play, this Karn is probably pretty good. I don't super need to worry about my stuff being removed. I can probably pull Lightning Greaves for 2 Karns as well, and then just keep maximum threat density. Kind of awkward to bring in 2 Karns alongside 2 Thorns, but eh. I totally think this thing can fly. There's got to be some jetpacks in there somewhere. Thrust boosters or something. I buy it. I'll give it the flavor of it pass. I get 15 counters on Jitte. I can kill Emrakul. I get 1 counter on Jitte. I can kill Memnite. Yikes, these openers. Alright. Ballista out. Manlan out. Done. You into you. Very simple 3-turn sequence. Thorn into Mechagodzilla into Cranial Plating equip. And pray to whichever god you're partial to. Fuck you in particular. Just lodestone. Lodestone off the top. Memnite is acceptable. Storm is 1. Thorn is non-creature spells. We can certainly mech. I would like to hit some evasion ability over the next 2 turns so that an Icefang Coatl doesn't just kill it. We can still very much lose to a 5-mana show and tell. But if this Mecha Godzilla gets some evasion, I'll be pretty happy. No shuffle, they took the draw with the Ponder. They found something they liked. That's not castable. X-proof, not what I'm looking for here. I don't think I get to attack with that this turn. I will send the Mem Knight in, though. I think they have to keep their Ice Fang Coatl around. Oh shit, no Death Touch yet. Yeah, I just missed it damage. I'll take things I would have realized if I wasn't streaming for 500. Well, that's good. Lifelink on the one with a lot of counters on it. We'll just send this Mem Knight in. Maybe I send both. Maybe I'm like okay with trading with Ice Fang Coatl because it means that 7 damage gets through, assuming they don't have a second Ice Fang Coatl. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go. Return to nature means show and tell is live. Show and tell would have been live anywhere with that top deck. I'm at 13, so that alone kills me. Yeah, I think there are just some strategies that are really hard for a deck like this one to attack. Like Merit Lodge is one of them, Show and Tell is another. We played Double Thorn, though. That's about the best that decks of this nature can do. Yeah, like at least it wasn't close, and like the 4 damage that I missed didn't like cost me that one. That would have stung worse, right? My hand's not really super exciting, but it's not going back. Oh, I hope it's not just show and tell again. Getting in there for one on turn one. Mm, smells an awful lot like show and tell in here. Feels like they have impulse. So Steel Overseer plays around Daze and pushes 2 damage this turn. Mechagodzilla pushes 3 damage this turn and potentially scales itself. Overseer feels better to me. Like it's worth 2 damage this turn, then 3 damage next turn. But Mechagodzilla uses my mana more efficiently. And like I can still tap the Steel Overseer for more damage next turn. The Steel Overseer is worth 2, then 3, then 3. Whereas Mechagodzilla is worth 3, then 3, then 3. So I guess this is better. This also makes it so that Steel Overseer is worth 3 the turn that it comes down. Just awkward if I get dazed here after all of that talk. We're getting in there. We have Shroud, Haste, and Hexproof. Strong. We can now move the Lightning Greaves back to the Memnite to protect it. Ah, I hit F6. I did not move my Lightning Greaves back. Well, I need to Goldfish my opponent as quickly as possible so that they just don't... Like, I need them dead. Oh, not show and tell? Maybe a combo deck like Ant instead. Doomsday is usually not red. It's usually white. A lot of times they like playing things like Teferi. not that you can't be, but Volcanic Island doesn't help cast Doomsday, and that's kind of a big deal. Yeah, I feel like that duress kind of confirms it. It's really interesting whether, like, what I do with the Steel Overseer that's in my hand if I don't draw a land. Because tapping the Ancient Tomb reduces the storm count necessary to kill me by 1 and makes natural tendrils easier, but pushes 3 more damage, making their ad nauseum significantly worse. Lame. Oh, Edge of Autumn? Maybe it is Doomsday with red. Oh my god, did they just go all in on Edge of Autumn? And it worked? Okay, that was no enough to ponder. I mean, that was a cool line. So I'm not familiar with this exact build. But Revoker and Thorn seem fine. What about Leyline? I don't know about Leyline. So I don't really want Walking Ballista. Lightning Greaves is medium. I still might keep it because it stops like bounce spells and stuff on Revoker or Lodestone Golem. I don't love the Ornithopters here. And it may be that I just want to board in a couple of Karns, as I'm often doing for the post sideboard games. Just because it provides something that hits big and hard. It may be that the Ornithopters are better here because I kind of need early aggro starts, and this makes the Cranial Bladings and Steel Overseers as well as the Gaia's Cradles better. Like, I really need Chalice, Thorn, Revoker, plus some aggressive stuff. Go with this. And then if I win game 2, we'll reassess Leyline for game 3. After I get a slightly better look at my opponent's deck. I think I'm playing a 3-3, followed by a 6-6, followed by a cranial plating, and I assume that goldfishes are very close to it on turn 4 or 5. Oh, nice, we got the +1/+1 counter, which is certainly one of the more appealing counters there. That is the problem. I wonder if I can just kill my opponent next turn with cranial plating. We could just be dead now as well. Utopia Mycon. I cut the Ravagers from the deck. The Ravagers are not ravaging. I think I kill my opponent if they don't win this turn, right? I play Vault of Whispers, I have 5 mana. I play Cranial Plating and Stonecoil Serpent for X=1. I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 artifacts. Oh, now I get to deal 8. I need to deal 9. So a 0-cost artifact is lethal. Oh, I only need to deal 8. No, I did that right. I was rounding. Go, go, Godzilla! Yeah, that also, like, even if I just hit them to 1, that stops, like, fetch lands and street wraith cycling and a lot of stuff of that nature. Alright, so, Leyline. I'm 2-2 right now. Fine and Andy, I just realized you're not a mod. Reaple Chief, you're also not a mod. Have mod privileges. I just kind of assumed you were mods. I don't think Leyline's good enough. Like, I'll say that, and then my opponent will, like, Burning Wish for Past in Flames and kill me or something, but... Do I keep? This is turn 1 Chalice into turn 2 Thorn of Amethyst off Cradle and Urborg. With a Soul Land, this is turn 1 Chalice on 0 into Thorn into turn 3 Lodestone Golem. I'm going to keep it. I also agree that it is okay and not stellar. I also don't love playing Urborg against this deck, but here we are. The thing that I like about it is that it has 3 relevant cards in the matchup, and mana makes it so much better. I think I'm going to play Vault of Whispers to decrease the chances that I have to play Urborg next turn. It's like super little thing. It shows them what I drew for turn, but in worlds where I top deck, say a Memnite or something, I don't necessarily have to play Urborg next turn. Rough. But opponent is at 13 now. Any creature plus Cranial Plating is scary now. Like, even if Cranial Plating is just hitting for 3, that's a huge chunk of their life total. Like, Thoughtseize, Street Wraith. Ooh, no land there. Ornithopter. Gaia's Cradle. 1, 2, plating. Oh yeah. This is a very big brainstorm for the opponent. The game really relies on them getting out of their landlock situation this turn. Otherwise, I'm threatening a lot of damage, and I'm also threatening like a Lodestone Golem. Okay, that's them shuffling out of a Brainstorm lock. That was a very quick shuffle, so my suspicions confirmed. They have found a land. I really don't want to play that Urborg, since they've just played Snow-Covered Island. I hit them for 3, they go to 10. I think I just go Cradle Cradle Mecha Godzilla, don't attack their stuff this turn, play the 3/3. Then the following turn, when I can play Lodestone Golem, Rather equip attack and play the 3/3 next turn. Well, I want to be able to hit in large chunks, right? So if they Doomsday, after I attack them, they go down to 5. And if they Doomsday before I attack them, they go down to 7. So, like, because of the weird way that Doomsday math works, I think it's correct to not attack here and just play Crystalline Giant. Especially if Crystalline Giant spikes the counter. Golem is guaranteed next turn if I play Crystalline Giant this turn because the Gaia's Cradle will tap for 2 mana next turn. I have to play the Urborg to do it, but I'm much more comfortable playing the Urborg to play a Lodestone than I am an Urborg to play a 3/3. Opponent has used 1 Lotus Petal already, notably. Ooh, that's not a land that casts Doomsday. I really hope they don't have some Burning Wish target like Shatterstorm. Throwing that out there, it wouldn't be crazy for them to have something of that nature. Fuck, by force. Ow. Well, this is a very good draw. I think it would now be very difficult for my opponent to win this turn. I think they would have to remove Lodestone Golem in this turn cycle, maybe at my end step, and then Doomsday and go off in the same turn or something. That's the commitment. That's putting themselves into lethal damage range. I mean, I'll be impressed. You have some sort of removal spell you're playing towards? Oh, this is certainly a Hail Mary play, but I don't know what the out is. Because like a Fatal Push can't kill either one of the onboard creatures as of right now. They don't have mana to like bounce Lodestone and then go off afterwards. GG's. Okay. So now my leagues with Affinity have been 4-1, 3-2, and 3-2. So the deck has been performing well. Um, I love the Crystalline Giants. Like, that much is probably obvious to all of you. Like, it's a little bit gambling, it's a little bit inconsistent in rolling the dice, but I very much love what they do. And the crazy things that they do with cranial plating are absurd. Like that match we played versus Dredge, where they had the Hogak, and I just had like first strike plus death touch and was gaining 9 on like and vigilance, so it was like 9 on attack, 9 on defense, or something like that. Those were really silly and fun. Yeah, Utopia Mycon, were you the one who sent me this? Was this you? Yeah. I'm very interested in trying out something like this. What time was it? 8:30? I could run another league. Good. You'll sub? Alright, I'm in. I can be bought for cheap. Like, the girlfriend's sick, so I can't hang out with her anyway. I'll play another league. Um, let's borrow the stuff for this. And then I'll probably muck with it a little bit. Oh, I'm going to cut off the recording for YouTube here and then start over.